Breaking bad. It's important to break bad habits and patterns in your life. Many of us have tried and failed to break bad habits. It's important for us to end these patterns of behaviors that no longer serve you. You're really not alone. Each and every one of us have some habit or another that we find hard to break and get away from. Breaking bad habits may not be easy, but with some understanding of how bad habits form and how they play out in your day-to-day life, then also acquiring the tools that create positive change, we really can begin to eliminate our bad habits and create healthier, more positive routines and patterns in our lives. Let's look at how to break up with our old bad habits. We really are creatures of habits, the good and the bad. And our bad habits come in all sorts of shapes and sizes. They range from mildly embarrassing, like nail biting, to somewhat problematic, like habitually playing video games into the night and leading us to exhaustion or other unhealthy habits and patterns with life-altering consequences that leave us addicted, broke, sick, or alone. It's important for us to pause and reflect and notice, are my habits all healthy, or do they tend to take me down a path of self-sabotage, self-harm? Even relatively benign bad habits like teeth grinding or overindulging in sugary snacks or carbohydrate-rich fast foods or endless hours pursuing online social media and news can become problematic. And even all bad habits and patterns, sometimes we use it to numb unpleasant or uncomfortable feelings, but over time they can lead us to low mood, high stress, and anxiety. They tend to also sometimes take over and cause us to use substances and become addicted to them, including legal substances like alcohol and cannabis, but also sex addiction, online gaming, pornography, shopping, gambling, binge eating, and other habits and patterns. We can have a lot of devastating impacts on our lives from these sort of habits in our life. They not only affect us, they spill over onto others around us and affect others as well, including role modeling as parents that we do to our children and the loved ones around. Making change. When we talk about breaking bad habits, we're really talking about making change. Change is possible. It feels hard, but it is possible. And when it comes to change, there are three things to understand: that change is achievable, that it can be difficult and challenging, and that it takes time. You know what? Being healthy does take effort and hard work sometimes. But it's important because we're here to live our highest and best version of our lives. One of the reasons that breaking bad habits can feel so challenging is that it becomes so habitual. Over time, we've reinforced that habit over and over and over and over again, that they become strong in our lives, that they become automatic pilot. But habits and patterns that have taken time to set in, you can still deconstruct them. The reason habits and patterns are set in because they somehow sometimes did something for us. They either took the edge off suffering, caused us some ease, calmness, so like nail biting, for example. When you're doing it, you may be causing yourself bloody fingertips, but over time, you realize the reason why you do it is it relieves tension and stress for you. Many people do feel disgust and shame by that habit. However, they also report feeling calm and it eases tension in the moment. While many people who regularly rely on cannabis or alcohol to take the edge off a stressful day, same thing. We become uncomfortable with the habit, but it becomes a part of our day-to-day routine because it regulates and manages their moods or takes the edge off the day. Many of us are not always willing or able to make changes to our routines because they somehow serve us. But do they serve you in a way that makes you a better version of you? That's important to explore. The cycle of self-soothing. There is a pattern to cycles of self-soothing. First, something that triggers, it tends to want self-soothing. For example, a child struggling with a math test is nervous in class, and they're hoping that the teacher does not call on them for the answer. Next are anxiety triggers, the soothing activity of maybe nail biting. And finally, the habit of nail biting delivers the stress reduction and need they have in the moment that they want to calm themselves. This is a cycle. No matter what the habit or pattern, there's a trigger followed by an action resulting in a reward or self-soothing behavior. The process of elimination. Each of us need to explore how to break away from our habits and patterns that no longer serve us. First, you need to decide that you are willing and ready to change. Next, we need to become familiar with the triggers that lead us to the action or the habit that we want to eliminate. The first step to treatment is always awareness. When we pay attention to our thoughts, moods, and sensations, then we understand what sets off our triggers and the habit that we wish to break. We then gain awareness in what's driving us to drink, smoke, eat, shop, gamble, or otherwise numb or uncomfortable, uneasy, distressing feelings. We need to have a compassionate approach. From here, we can move forward with compassion for ourselves. We all wobble. We're creatures of habit, but we all wobble. We're perfect and a work in progress. Be a little bit compassionate to yourselves. Breaking bad habits take effort. We can take steps forward to support the elimination of a bad habit, but don't always expect yourself to get it right away. For example, if we want to stop smoking cigarettes, we might explore a number of resources around us to help us get there because we do wobble and go in and out of bad and good habits. We might want to look at smoking cessation programs and resources, talk to a friend, get a buddy system or a family member, and ask people how they've successfully stopped smoking. Learn what worked from others. We're learning from one another. That's a part of being a part of a community. We learn from one another and we grow from them. Or we can seek the help of medical professionals who could really help you, like getting medication on board to help you stop smoking or to bring in resources to bring down the anxiety or stress that causes you to want to smoke to take the edge off. We could seek a number of different medical health professionals or resources. And the first step to treatment is awareness, recognizing that you alone cannot do everything. We can also begin to address our triggers by understanding what is the purpose of my low mood, stress, anxiety, and feelings of helplessness. This is what leads us to these unhealthy adaptive habits or unadaptive habits that leave us in a place where we're looking for easing our discomfort. We need to bring in adaptive habits to alleviate discomfort versus maladaptive habits. As we strive to eliminate bad habits, we need to also remain compassionate with ourselves. It is really important to realize change doesn't happen easily, but the more and more you try, one day you successfully get there. And it's important for us to recognize that even if you occasionally slip back into old patterns, you keep trying, and one day you remain in a place of health. You relapse only once in a while, and then you get to a place of maintaining success and preventing relapse. We allow ourselves time and patience, then we get to a place of strength in our habits, in our healthy habits. It's important for us to eliminate bad habits with compassion, patience, kindness, and love for yourself as you're working through it. We need to banish this self-scrutiny and criticism that comes with failing or wobbling at times that we try and try again. We need to bring in support from trusted friends and family members, and we need to realize that each time you try, you get a little bit closer to one day doing it. And I think you need to make your faith bigger than your fear, faith in your skill set to really make changes, instead of always fearing that you can't do it or having self-doubt. Let's take a mindful moment right now and pause and reflect, taking a deep breath in and breathe out. Another deep breath in and breathe out. Reflect now in this mindful moment. What are some of the habits that you need to break? What are some things that you know are not serving your highest and best, irritate you, bother you, or just frustrate you where you know they're not helping you? They're habits that hold you back from being your highest and best version of you. Let's take a moment now, breathing in and out, and trying to have reflection in this pause and reflect of the habits that we need to take charge and revise to be a better version of us. Take a deep inhale and breathe out. And let's take this mindful moment to reflect. As I gently bring you back from your mindful moment, in with the good, it's time. Finally, we're in a process of understanding that we can eliminate a bad habit or pattern of behavior. It's important to replace bad habits with good ones for your highest and best. It is important to celebrate in incremental accomplishments. Be proud of yourself. It's hard forming these habits and it's hard breaking them. Important is to give yourself credit. One, for reflecting that I need to get rid of this, but secondly, creating a plan of action to work on replacing unhealthy habits with healthier ones. Over time, we can start to replace old bad habits with more life-enhancing and supporting good ones, like connecting people in our lives with more positivity, establishing an exercise routine, finding healthier ways to manage stress and mood, and exploring ways to add better self-care, self-routines, and being more fun, playful, and enjoying life with positive pursuits in our own lives. We are really here to live our lives in our highest and best, and to take good care of ourselves along the way. When we are ready to break up with old bad habits and patterns that no longer serve you, we then begin to start to make room for exciting, new possibilities for our future selves. 5 positive, powerful steps to breaking bad habits. Decide to change. Make a promise to yourself to eliminate a habit or pattern of behavior that no longer serves you. Examine what triggers you and the habit or patterns you wish to eliminate, as the first step to treatment is always awareness. Address your triggers. You need help managing overwhelming trauma, low mood, anxiety, or stress. Seek help of a professional. Many professionals can help you reflect on things that are not working for you and find new resources or tools that may help you. Bring in compassion for yourself as you strive to make changes and seek the help and support you need to stay consistent with the new habits. And give yourself time to break entrenched old habits and patterns. Replace habits and patterns that no longer serve you with a positive, more enjoyable and healthy interests and pursuits. You matter in the equation of your life. Let's take charge to be our highest and best versions of ourselves. Let's go deeper into our wellness, and you deserve having a life that you are proud of, healthier in, and being able to be your highest and best version of you.